friends, and I recently had a friend on YouTube here ask if I could do a quick video on me planning my homestead. So of course, a little while ago, I think maybe a couple weeks or so, I did a really quick video on how to start a homestead without getting overwhelmed, and so I just wanted to do a really quick video on how I'm actually going about that on my own. So let me show you some of my homestead plans. Before I do, please forgive me, they are not perfect. I am not all that artistically gifted, and yeah, my handwriting is really horrible. So aside from all that, hopefully maybe it could be helpful, but here, let me go ahead and show you. Okay, so really quickly, the first thing I mentioned in my video was to make a list of everything that you wanted to do. And this is more or less what mine turned out to be like. I obviously have more I need to add to this, but this is just a really quick list. My homestead stuff I wanted to do, just other stuff in the yard. I've crossed some stuff off that I've been able to achieve, and so yeah, it makes it to where there's obviously less to have to do, and crossing things off makes me feel good. I just like that. So yeah, it makes me more encouraged. And then the next thing would be the stuff that I want to plant specifically. So this is going to be things that I actually want to put in the yard. So like I mentioned, put both the time that it takes to establish and then an approximate for how much the cost is going to be for all of the items. So yes, again, this is kind of messy, so, or ignore that, but I have it broken down as far as the trees and the shrubs and the vines. I really do, I'm calling need, but they're not obviously needs. And then some of the other stuff that I would like to have. These are wants, but not necessarily things that I'm really, eager to put in, and then just some other mixes of things. Let's see, so this is the actual vegetable garden. I'm trying to go easy on it this year because I know that there's going to be a lot of work that we have to do. So obviously I want to plant a garden, but I just want to plant the things that are my absolute favorites. And then when, we have things more established and we don't have as much to do, then maybe I'll just be able to, better add some other things there. So here's the priorities. One of the things I mentioned in that video is to make sure you prioritize. And I have it prioritized not necessarily in order, so these aren't necessarily all, in that order, but they're all the things that I feel are necessary to get done this year. The reason I have fruit trees on there is because they take so long to establish, and so I'm pushing those ahead. If I had to choose between a garden and fruit trees, I'm going to choose the fruit trees. Bushes and vines, again, it's because all of these things take time to establish. But we are also very used to having a garden, and so I think we're going to feel lost without it, so I really do feel like that's necessary. We need a new house and some fencing for the goats because the area where they are isn't really, in the best spot. So I do have a little to-do list on things that we really need to get done. I have some stuff, going on for hopefully next year, we'll see. And then I started doing a small breakdown on the time frames when stuff needs to get done. So in March I really do need to start some garden starts, or at least the first portion of them. If you missed that video series last year, I'll probably link that here soon, and then you can check that out. But I have a seed starting schedule that I use, and the beginning of it actually does start in March. April is bare root season, and so that's when I'm going to be planting all of my trees and bushes and things like that. And so I'm trying to get everything ready for that, just in case they do end up, coming early, because we are actually having a fairly early, warm weather. So, and then May, and I just didn't get beyond that. So yeah, it's pretty messy. It's still a work in progress. But here, let me show you this really quick. So this is basically a plan of what my house and yard looks like right now. Again, I'm not all that artistic, but let's focus on the front of it right now, because this is our house. This is the front half of our house. This is our driveway. We have a small circle driveway. We have a couple of established trees here. I have a tenant parking area, the tenant yard. The green is the stuff that I have as things that I would like to do, or there are things that I'm not sure if I'm going to do or not. And then the red is the stuff that's existing. So again, the green is going to be the stuff that I'm hoping to do with it. And since I'm going out into the front yard to kind of work out there, maybe I could just take you along here after I show you this really quick. So anyway, we had 3 huge bushes in this area right here. And we had some little bluegrasses in this little stone circle thing. And instead of looking at my yard as far as what it is now, I prefer to look at it from a perspective of what it could be. So it could, I mean, we had a big giant bush here. We have some other like decorative little shrubs there. I want to take all of them out though, because they're not really useful to us. They're more decorative than anything. And so again, they just really don't have any real purpose. So instead of, looking at it as far as what it is, it could be a nice area for a tree that I could actually, enjoy better, like a fruit tree. This little bluegrass thing, which it was nice, it wasn't bad. But at the same time, I think it would be better if it was strawberries. And then right here, as we're pulling up, we want to be able to see because the road is right here. So put something there. But hopefully you get the idea. Maybe put some perennial herbs there. Right now I'm just kind of working with it, just kind of moving things around. Like what if we put vine arbor here? That would free up some space maybe over here to do something else. Or what if I put the vines here instead? Then we could make the goat yard even bigger. And so right now it's just sort of in a throw the ideas around and kind of looking at stuff. But I do have some stuff pretty well set in mind as far as where I want to put the things, and that's mainly the front yard. So we want to do blackberries in this area where we already took out the bush. This is where we want to put raspberries, so I need to take some rocks out there. And then this is the area my husband and I have been working on pretty hard. But now we have a bush over here that I need to remove, and so let me just go out there and show you what the area actually looks like and our plans for what we need to do and the work that we've been doing on it. Okay, here it is somewhat from a distance. As you can see, this is the circle driveway I drew. This is the main driveway here, and then the house, of course. Let's see. So this little circle thing, like I mentioned, it had a bunch of these little like ornamental grasses. I actually transplanted those all along the fence with my kids yesterday, so hopefully those will do well. They're dormant, so it's a good time to transplant. Right here, as you can see, there were these awful bushes. Our house was built in the 70s, and these bushes were just put in everyone's yards because they were just so aesthetically pleasing. And I hate them. They take up tons of space. And they just don't have any purpose. They just, take up space for absolutely no reason. And look at how much space this is. It's really a lot of space to work with. And then we obviously need to get rid of these stumps. I'm not sure what on earth we're going to do with those. Hopefully my husband can help me. So, let's see. The area over here. More area with these awful bushes. But what I'm hoping to do is actually cut them out and take them out, because I would rather have this area be for like herbs and things. And even over here, I put that maybe we could put a couple of like bushes over here. And I was mainly hoping to keep the berries in the front yard. So yeah, this is one of the areas maybe you saw on the plans where there was an area where we could put a tree. I'm thinking this would be a nice spot for a fruit tree. I do have to be careful though, because we have this wire up above, so that's a little bit of an obstacle. I don't want anything that's going to grow into that. So I do, if I plant trees on this area over here, be really careful about making sure to choose ones that aren't going to grow too tall. So yeah, that's why I like writing down the plans and then having a list of the stuff that we're actually looking for. That way we can actually like move stuff around and, make stuff work as we need to. So yeah, even though that's been a lot of work, I think it's going to work out well. Here is the area where I told you I was going to put in the raspberries. These are the bushes that I need to take out. It's really not that bad, and I do want to take all these rocks out so that they can kind of freely grow. And raspberries have a tendency to grow suckers, and that's how they grow and divide and fill in. So I was planning on putting like maybe 5 or so bushes in this area here. Haven't really touched it though. That's an area we haven't done much for. Excuse my mess here. And then this is another area where we had a giant bush. It was horrible. This bush was just a nightmare to take out. So it's out, thankfully. It has very little stump left, so thankfully we were able to get that out. But you can even see on the concrete where the bush was like along here to where it like cut off portion of the walkway to where it like actually made the walkway smaller. So when we took it out, our walkway grew bigger. And yeah, I think this, once we get it cleaned up, take these rocks out and move them somewhere else is going to be a nice area for a blackberry patch. So we'll have blackberries here, raspberries there, a couple of other berries over there. A Saskatoon berry is like a blueberry, but it can grow in an area where they have alkaline soil like we have here. So instead of trying to plant and fight, you know, the alkaline soil to get a blueberry to grow, I'm just going to plant, it's also called a service berry. And yeah, it tastes and grows similar to a blueberry, but it's not a true blueberry. So maybe plant that over there, or an elderberry. I really like elderberry too. And then, like I said, the strawberries in that little rock circle thing. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with my homestead and my planning at the moment. And then, of course, all of the hard work that we have to do to get it all ready for, you know, the planting season ahead. So I guess my next thing on my agenda is to take out this shrub thing right here, so we can cut that out and make some room and put some other cool stuff that we actually do want in here. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful to you. I'm Frugal Green Girl. We'll see you next time.